Dental school costs about $300,000, right? But what if you could go to dental school for free? Yes, for free. Stay tuned as we talk to a D1 student who is just doing that. Stay tuned. Hi, this is Dr. Darwin, a new dentist coach with another episode of Ask Dr. Darwin on the New Dentist Podcast Show, where we talk about getting into dental school, getting into residency, and then life as a new dentist. This episode today is being brought to you by Dr. Darwin On Demand, the new exclusive membership community for new dentists. New dentists as in pre-dental students, dental students, residents, and international dentists looking to get a license here in the US. Go to thenewdentistcoach.com/on demand for more details. So today we're going to be talking with a first-year student in dental school that worked some magic and is now going to dental school for $0. Today, we're going to be talking with D1 student Marissa Lee, who's going to be sharing some tips and some strategies on how to go to dental school for free. And that's the title of today's episode. Student Dr. Marissa, how you doing?
I'm great, Doc. How are you?
I know you great. You don't have to pay for dental school. I know you like just beyond great. Beyond great. But before we dive into and try to figure out how you did that, please introduce yourself to everyone who's listening and watching.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Marissa Lee. I am from Gainesville, Florida, which is the city and founding city of Gatorade. I am the oldest child of 5 kids. I was a former athlete. I played basketball from about 5 years old to I played a couple years in college until I tore my ACL. And then I am a plant parent. I love plants. I have a dog named Bella. I'm very close to my family. So family means a lot to me. So that's who I am.
Awesome. Well, Gainesville, UF, University of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I've been there before. Used to run track in college, and we went to a track meet down there. But enough about me. Let's find out more about you. So let's dive right into it. And guys, those that are listening, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Darwin Speaks. Also, be sure to hit those bell notifications so that you don't miss these videos that are coming up on a weekly basis, especially with topics like this one. So before we go into the topic, let's talk real quick about why dentistry. There's many different careers. There's medicine, also careers in medicine. Why did you pick dentistry?
Yeah, so I like to begin by just saying that, I didn't find dentistry. Dentistry found me. But I feel as though like it wouldn't have found me had I not been prepared for it. So I tell people all the time, like, I experienced what I like to refer to as a divine misdirection, just meaning that, I've held jobs and positions in the healthcare field and in the non-healthcare field that, they just weren't the right match for me. But it wasn't until I was exposed to dentistry that I realized like this is my professional calling. And I was fortunate enough to be able to cultivate a network of mentors and influential people who just poured into me endlessly. Like they made their resources available to me because they witnessed my passion and just believed in me. They inspired me to explore the field and just to blaze my own trail. So I ultimately went with where my mind, my heart, and where God guided me, which led me to dentistry. Then I had to make sure that my words, my actions, my deeds, and my thought remain congruent to my goals and desires, which has always been to be an advocate for the underserved and the underinsured, while also offering representation in the healthcare field. So that's why I chose dentistry.
Good. So let's talk a little bit about your journey and your application to dental school, because before you can get a free ride to dental school, which we're going to talk about, you have to apply to dental school. So tell us a little bit about your application process, when you started, and how that went for you.
Absolutely. So, just for starters, I was a non-traditional applicant. I received my BS in biology from St. Thomas University down in Miami, Florida in 2017. So after undergrad, I decided to complete a 2-year master's program in public health at Florida A&M University in Tallahassee, Florida. And to just be completely transparent, I thought I wanted to pursue pharmacy. And originally I had applied to the PharmD program at FAMU, but obviously I was denied. So I was denied from that program. But at the same time, I was offered a seat in the Masters of Public Health program. And at the time, I really was like unsure of what public health was as a system and how it functioned in our society. So I was a little hesitant, but I did my research and, I hopped right into it. I started that program in 2017, shortly after I graduated undergrad. And like I said, it was a 2-year program. At the time, I was working as a pharmacy technician. And, that kind of solidified that pharmacy wasn't for me, just having that experience. So during the program, the 2-year program, during the last semester, I had to complete an internship. So for the last semester, so I had to do like 300 hours at an internship. So I did the internship, and I had told my program director that, at that point, I decided dentistry was what I was going to pursue. So I told the program director about my interest, and, she made sure I was able to get an internship at the Florida Dental Association, the foundation affairs sector of that, and which is a nonprofit organization. So because of that internship, I was able to connect myself to the profession in like a lot of ways. I was able to attend statewide and local meetings. I built a personal network of dental students and dentists. I was the only pre-dental student on the leadership committee for the 2019 Florida Mission of Mercy. And Mission of Mercy is just a large dental clinic that various states host. It's a free dental clinic, and Florida happens to have one of the largest ones. So I was able to be a part of that team and, serve over 1,800 patients and provide over $2 million in donated care within a span of 2 days. So, I was blessed to just be able to help and be a part of that. And then after my internship, I was actually offered a job at the Florida Dental Association, but in the insurance department. So I started working in 2019 with the FDA, which is the Florida Dental Association insurance department, as an insurance advisor. And I was able to see how dentists actually insure themselves, whether it's professional liability, workers' comp, overhead, business owners, policies, different things like that, stuff that I probably wouldn't have seen and had like an insight on otherwise. So that was an advantage. And as I transitioned to that position, the team was aware that I was applying to dental school, so they were very supportive and willing to help me in any way that they could. They okay. So while I was working at the Florida Dental Association in the insurance department, they were aware that I was applying to dental school. So they allowed me to study, they allowed me to work on my application, and they even opened the facility for me after hours so that I can come in and study. And it was a blessing, to just be able to have that much support and just a village around me. But otherwise, I would highly recommend not to work while you're studying for the DAT, because it's just that labor intensive, and it's hard to balance those two without having priorities, So
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Did
yeah.
you what did you use a prep course for your DAT? I know you said you're a bio major, so you knew some of the sciences. So how did you prep for it?
Well, I actually used DAT boot camp, and I supplemented it with DAT Destroyer, but just mainly DAT boot camp.
Okay, well that's good. So you applied, got in, but you also applied for a scholarship program, and that's really the nuts and bolts of what we want to talk about.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about this NHSC as in Nancy, H as in Henry, S as in Scott, C as in Charlie program?
Yeah, so that's the National Health Service Corps Scholarship Program. And essentially, it's a federally funded program that awards scholarships to students pursuing dentistry, medicine, physician assistant, and even nurse practitioners. And that program is a service-based scholarship, and it's based on you can request for an award for up to anywhere from 2 to 4 years. And as an incoming D1, I requested for a 4-year award, and I was granted that award. The application process is on a rolling basis. It's not on a rolling basis. I'm sorry. So it's not like dental school, and there's no interview for that scholarship.
So when does the application open up? Because I know that's what people want to hear. You know,
Oh yeah, for
what's
sure.
when's it start, and then when's it close? Because there's got to be some deadlines, I'm sure.
So I actually applied like at the start of the pandemic. So it was the timeline was a little different compared to other years. So I want to say the application, like the guidance, they actually like open up a program guidance, which was issued, I believe, I want to say late March or early or the middle of March, somewhere between there. And like in past years, the application deadline was like mid-April. So you had about a month or so to complete that application and get it in. But because of the pandemic last year, it was extended to about May. I'm not sure if they'll do that again this year, but the deadline was extended to the beginning of May for us.
And so how did you hear about that program? Because I'm sure there's people want to know, like, wait a minute. Well, well, now listening to us, they've heard about it, but up until this point, you know, candidates like yourself may not have heard about it. How'd you hear about it?
Right. I believe like a lot of people haven't heard about it, to be honest, but I heard about it through Instagram, like, you know, just connecting with various people, specifically Dr. Jordan Brown, and who went to Michigan, and then student Dr. Marissa Lester from UNC School of Dentistry. I think they mentioned that they had been awarded for the program, and at that time I was looking for funding, so I was like, okay, let me look into it. And then shortly after, Dr. Brown, it came out with an ebook, which actually was like a scholar perspective of the scholarship. So then that's when I was like, okay, like after I had done my own research, I was like, yeah, this is what I want to, you know, do. So I did it.
Shout out to Dr. Jordan Brown. We've interviewed
For
him
sure. Yeah.
a couple times on the podcast show. We're actually going to put down below, there's a link. Check out that link right here of his ebook. And shout out to Dr. Brown. He's down in Florida right now doing a residency.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So with the application process, tell us a little bit about it. As far as, you know, you probably got to write an essay. You got to tell them, you know, what you want the award for as far as the period of time, whether it's 2 years or 4 years. But also tell us a little bit about what does that mean if you're awarded the scholarship? What's your obligation as well?
Yeah, sure. So just the requirements aren't that difficult. You just have to be a U.S. citizen, and you have to supply like your academic acceptance to dental school or whatever discipline you're applying for. You do have to write 3 essays. But those essays can be 500 words or less. But last year, things changed. So what I mean is, like, since the program started, they had the same essay prompts up until last year. They just changed them out of nowhere. So I had started writing my essays back in, I want to say like January. And so my essays were done. And then that new program guidance came out and the essay prompts were different. So a lot of us were like scrambling to change those essays and just make updates and stuff. So that was like a twist in it. But, you know, other than that, as far as obligation, there's a minimum service commitment of 2 years. So if you request a scholarship, whether you're only requesting for 1 year of funding, you still have to do a minimum of 2 years of service commitment. But You can also apply as an incoming D1. That's something to keep in mind. And you can apply at any time during dental school. So if you don't get it, or you didn't get it as an incoming D1, you can keep applying. It's good to stay in good academic standing. You know, you want to be in good academic standing. You don't have any obligations while you're in school. You just have to provide like your unofficial transcript and like just verification that you're a full-time student that's in good academic standing each semester. But other than that, you don't have to, you're not obligated to do anything while you're in school. Your obligation begins like a few months after you graduate. And another thing to keep in mind is that you get to choose where you want to go. Essentially, like you're not assigned to a specific location. You can, as long as you do your part in your research, you can land wherever you want to land. You do have to like meet a certain score to hold that position, based on like the health professions score, and it has to be like in an underserved community. But other than that, the requirements are pretty simple, and yeah, that's it.
Gotcha. So that's good news. People who are listening, I hope you guys are taking some notes. If not, you just got to push rewind, go back and listen to what she just said about the application process and your commitments there. That'll be good. So let's talk a little bit about the, so you got it for 4 years, correct?
Mm-hmm. That's correct. Yes, I did.
So that means you've got to give 4 years back or give 2 years back.
That's right. 4 years back. So
Okay.
the minimum is 2 years, but I requested for 4 years of funding because
Good.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Why not? So your service
Mhm.
commitment is 4 years, and keep in mind that even though you're doing that service commitment, you're still, wherever you're going to be, you're still going to be getting paid. So you're going to be getting paid to do your service commitment after they've paid you, or the scholarship program has paid you to go to dental school. So it's a win-win, guys. It's a win-win.
Right.
And it's very competitive, especially now that we are, Dr. Jordan Brown has leaked it out with the ebook, and now we're leaking it out with this video. It's going to continue to be even more competitive now that people are going to be aware of, especially with the cost of dental schools. So that's good. So let's talk about dental school now. You're, almost finished with your first year. Tell us a little bit about what you like most about the first year, if there's anything.
I mean, the class of 2024 is very unique, being that we've entered dental school in the midst of a pandemic. I will say there's been a lot of like unforeseen obstacles and just a lot of changes. But I feel as though my school did an excellent job of selecting candidates that could mesh well together, based on our personalities and our backgrounds. And honestly, I feel like the best part of my D1 year has been my classmates. Like, they inspire me. They're supportive. It's like a family, and we all just want to see each other win. So it's a blessing to just be surrounded by, like-minded people who truly support you.
Yeah, that's so key, because now that you guys have gotten in, guess what? You got to get through and get out.
Right.
Get
Right.
through and get out. So if you guys
Right.
continue to stay together as a family and work together to get through and get out, then the experience is going to be really good. All right, so those are the things you do like. Let's tell us a little bit about what you don't like, or what's some of the challenges you've had outside of just COVID. What are some other similar challenges, or similar things? Not similar things, but what are some of those challenges that you've encountered, and how have you managed to kind of work around them right now?
Yeah, so for sure. I mean, I thought I prepared for, coming into dental school, and, I knew everything that, could be thrown my way as far as like the adversity, but when you get here, you're not prepared. Like, it's like, no matter how much you've heard or how many times people say it, like, it's just something that you have to live out. Like, and even then it's a challenge within itself. Like, you have to adapt and adjust, and you have to find your balance, and it's imperative that you prioritize your self-care and just your mental health, because If you don't, it'll take you out, and don't let it take you out, because don't do it. But yeah,
No,
just
no, we don't want it to take you out now. You got your future's too bright,
right.
as
So
my
yeah, you
grandmother
have
used to say. You gotta hang in there.
yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I've had and I remember this phrase too. People saying D1 year is like drinking out of a fire hose or a fire
Oh yeah.
hydrant that's turned all the way up.
All the way up.
And it's like you're getting water from the Pacific Ocean. It's just water. You're just supposed to drink
Mhm.
it all up. And so that can be a challenge. But like you said, some balance. And that takes me to the next question: tips and advice um, for pre-dentals that are applying to dental school, applying to the scholarship, and then also get ready to get through their first year at dental school. What are some tips and advice on those topics you can share?
I mean, if you've been doing your research, I know you've heard this a million times, but the key thing is to apply early. Apply early, and it's important to submit a substantial application. By that, I mean you want to invest in your application. You want to take the time to, write those essays before the deadlines, and make sure you have time to get them reviewed and revised. You want to invest in that application, because I mean it's your story that you're telling, so you want to be sure to prepare a list of activities, community service, events, or shadowing, whatever it may be. You want to go ahead and prepare those lists with dates and details about them before the application cycle even opens, because that'll give you a leg up. Because once you actually open that application cycle, you're going to see how intimidating it could be. But as long as you're prepared, it's going to take time still, but as long as you're prepared, you'll be good to go. And again, just advocate for yourself. Be sure that you're telling your story and live out your truth. And as far as the NHSC goes, it's the actual scholarship application program. You want to make sure that you're um, reading the instructions and paying attention to detail, because you can honestly get disqualified for not putting your name on a document, or your discipline, or the last word of your social security. That can easily disqualify you, and that's how they weed out people. And so just make sure that you're paying attention and following those instructions. And also just sign up for the program email list, so that you can know when the application cycle is actually going to open, and like just those specific deadlines. So just stay on top of it. You'll be okay. And believe in yourself. That's important.
Yeah, believing in yourself, but also believing and knowing that you have got to apply early. That's so
Mm-hmm.
key. Sign up for the email, read those instructions, and make sure that you submit a full, substantial application as far as for dental school, but also for the scholarship program. Because, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
you don't follow instructions, you're not going to be where the money resides anymore.
Absolutely not.
You're gonna take yourself away from where the money
Right.
resides, which is valued at over $300,000. So you got to
Mm-hmm.
follow those instructions.
Yeah.
That's that as well. So, well, this has been very informative. I hope you guys who have been listening and watching have found it to be very helpful. Question of the day is, based on what you guys have heard, tell us what you like the most about what you heard. I think I have an idea as it relates to dental school being free and how to make it free with the scholarship. But put those comments down below and let us know what you've liked the most that student Dr. Marissa has shared with us. Doc, what's the best way to get in contact with you? People have questions.
Oh yeah. So definitely you can hit me up via email at lee.marissa3@gmail.com. That's Marissa with two R's, one S. So lee.marrisa3@gmail.com. Or you can DM me on Instagram at Dr. Marrisa Lee. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. I try to be open and transparent about all my experiences. So don't hesitate to contact me.
There you go. You guys have heard it here. You heard it. How to get into dental school, but also more importantly, how to go to dental school for free,
Yeah.
FRE, which she is doing right now. This has been great. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Check out these next videos right here. I hope these are helpful. And we'll see you on the next video. Love, peace, and smiles. We'll see you, Doc.
All right.